Buford's quiet tonight.
I just got here.
It never stopped you before.
No, that's true.
I was in the waiting room a week or so ago for something, and they had a TV on. Price is Right was on. Darren, you are the spitting image of Drew Carey these days. Or vice versa, whichever way you want to go with it.
Who should be insulted?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I think vice versa.
I think if he had Drew's wallet, he'd be all right.
Oh, I would be happy man.
You wouldn't care what you looked like you had that wallet.
Hell no.
And why is he sharing his wallet?
Get the wax out of your ears and tune in earlier, Vince. You missed the...
Damn.
These Zooms are getting smaller and smaller, aren't they?
I don't know. There's
9 of us.
Well,
yeah, it's 9 right now.
People are that in the flesh thing takes a lot out of you.
Hey, there may come a time that where we say we're done with these things. We go back to once a month in the face-to-face.
Well, we could certainly do every other week, second week Zoom or the first week Zoom and third week meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to first and third.
Good.
Not till after that F4 is finished, though. God dang, we got to wait for that song.
Yeah, we got to see that every week.
Yeah.
I want weekly updates on that.
Yeah.
Well, if you're lucky, you get daily updates on
Between that and the blog and the podcast updates, it's like, and I gotta have almost daily. I'm reaching that point.
The sarcasm is thick. Yeah.
At least I'm not asking for an hourly text.
It's
He'd settle for semi-daily.
It'll be available in a bound volume soon, Tim.
Yeah. This goddamn thing's slow. It's a slow roll, man. Here's what it is.
Hey, as long as you haven't reached the point where you strip it and go back and start over.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Oh, good gracious.
That's not happening.
Yeah, it won't be ready by MosquitoCon, will it?
Yes, it will.
No, if you had to strip it and go back and start over.
Shit, no.
Yeah.
No, I'll talk a little bit about the last. Oh shit! Here in a minute. Whenever we get to
MosquitoCon?
the weekly update.
I just had a very successful evening. I can't wait to share.
I know that the 4 of us are going. We're going to be there. Who else was I talking to that was going? Vince is going.
Yeah, I'm going up there.
I guess that's only 5 I know of.
Are you guys going to do a podcast recording up there at all?
We're going to attempt. This is going to be our first remote deal. I did a remote deal at the with Whitey at the Warbirds over the beach, which worked real well. As a matter of fact, we just passed all those audio files to the Hangar Deck guys tonight. So Whitey and I have done some stuff, but it's the first time all 4 of us. We do have a table up there that they've given us. So we're going to set up. We might talk to some of the modelers and just kind of practice, if you will, getting ready for the Nats. Dry run type deal.
Yeah, cool. Are all 4 of you going out to Nats?
Yes.
Damn. I wish I had the cubic dollars to join you.
Taking the show on the road.
Yep, the 4 of us are going. Tim's going. Rotrammel's going. And of course, I'm really looking forward to it because my dad and my brother meet me out there for the week too. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Dad's pushing 80. I'm glad he's going. And I'm glad my brother's gonna be there to help babysit.
Your dad's going, he's 80.
He's almost 80, yeah.
Does he
79.
does he build models?
No, he did years ago. That's what kind of got me started, so. But he's been so far away for so long, he's just gonna shit himself when he sees what's on the tables these days.
Yeah. My old man builds models, and he and I kind of got together a couple years ago when I got back into it. And I'm telling him about Tamiya extra thin because he's still using the share of the tube.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, I was blown away by this glue. I was like, Dad, that's just that's just the beginning. Wait till I show you the other stuff available.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing where it's gone.
All that's available these days.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm showing 5 after. And does anybody have any announcements they want to make?
Big party at the next in-person meeting when everybody's gone. Big party.
Yeah.
So if you're not at the Nats, be sure and come to there because we're gonna have a hell of a party then.
Is Nats the week of our next in-person meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you want to attend, you got to fly out to Vegas.
Should
No,
we
if they
consider
roll with 10, they
adjusting the
gotta
date
fly.
then?
Say again, Benny?
Should we consider adjusting the date for the next in-person meeting if that conflicts with Nats? And a bunch of people are going to Nats and
Hell no.
I'm gonna be stuck in Atlanta on a work trip.
Oh,
Just saying.
Just saying. Well, there's no reason to not consider that. Let's see what. All right, where's August? There's August.
what's the date of our meeting?
So the August meeting is on the 19th of August. We can always delay it until the 26th.
The only thing I would say is Colin is leaving the 22nd. It might be his last chance to come to a meeting for a year.
He said this one was his last. July was his last. He wasn't
Yeah,
coming next month anyway.
We've been fishing and if he's going to be in town the last week, he's going to come to the meeting.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he said if he could, he would, because he's going to miss it. So,
All right. Well, the other option would be to move it to Thursday, to the 12th, move it up a week.
That would actually almost be better.
Any opinions other than Vince? Vince has already made his.
No
He's-
preference either way.
I'm either gonna sit here on the camera or sit in the game shop. So
Right. That's the way I feel.
Same
Well,
here.
it sounds like we're going to do it on the 12th then. I'll just send out a note saying we'll move it up a month. And I'll
Right.
I'll let the GameStop folks know, or whatever what is it called? High Tide Games. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just let them know we're moving it up a week, not a month.
well, I'll tell you what, why don't you ask him if we can move it up a week first?
Yeah, that's
That might
probably
be,
better.
that might be the way to do it.
We'll have the meeting out in the parking lot.
And
Have it at
hopefully
Tim's house.
it's not hot.
we can have it at Tim's house.
Yeah, sure.
We can drink beer over there, right?
I was thinking Jeff's.
You can drink beer at my place.
Sold.
I don't know that there certainly wouldn't be room for 20. Not in bring models for show and tell. I'll put it that way. All right. All right, I'll give them an ask for the 12th. Any other announcements? All right. In that case, we'll get started. Phil, you're up.
Oh, I don't really have anything, but thank you anyways.
All of that stuff you talked about before
Yeah,
everybody else
really.
came on, and you're not going to turn around and say it again?
I don't think anybody really wants to just see a pair of cutters, you know? So,
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe that's true. All
Show
right,
me your
well,
cutters, Phil.
How much
Show me
you
your
charging to make them like that, Phil?
I don't know. It took me like 2 hours to make those suckers. So I would just buy some, to be honest.
Yeah. So if you think that if Phil was cheap at $25 an hour, and that would be cheap, then it was $50 for those cutters that he could have bought new for 25.
Yeah, but if he was doing it for the club for his friends.
Oh yeah, they'd only be 15 a piece.
Here,
Yeah.
I'll pull them out real quick. Hang on. Ugh, okay. So real quick, the at High Tide they have the Army Painter cutters. These are like the cheap $10 ones. And when I saw them, I was like, you know what? I'll buy them to help support the hobby shop, but I'm probably going to put a new edge on them because that's what I did with like a lot of the other cutters. I basically went and just ground down the back end and made them sharp. But in the case of these, I was, it's long story short, but on the one sci-fi modeling board that I'm on, somebody actually did a thing and on comparing the new cutters. And so they have these nippers that, I don't know if you could see how thin these are. It's like really thin. These are nice. And basically what happens is when you go to cut the pieces off of the sprue, it hardly leaves any trace at all. So basically like if you're cutting a piece on the sprue and it's like this, you'd cut this piece off first and then you take these and you put them like right up on the edge and there's hardly any cleanup at all. And if you actually do it slowly, there's hardly any stress in the plastic where it changes color. So it actually probably saved me a couple of hours last night. I was just kind of working on a kit and just, messing around, and it was like night and day. That literally saved me some time. So there's like many out there that are like that, but I thought, hey, I'll try it. I was going to put a new edge on these anyways. And so if you see any of the nippers out there, like Micromark makes them, and I think Tamiya actually has a pair of them now too. And some of those other companies, they actually help. So if I had this in glass file, I'd be good to go. Like you probably wouldn't need to paint the part. Finish was that good on it. So
You got those at High Tide?
yeah, but I ground them down so you could see how fat they were. And then that's how much I ground them down to be. So to give you an example, let's see. These are some regular sprue cutters that most people probably use. And you could see how thick those are. And then if you put these up, you can see the big difference in them. So there you go. My shiny bald head is a backdrop.
Yeah. Did you have to retemper them after you ground them, or were you just careful?
No, I kept grinding them down, and then I'd have a glass of water and just keep quenching it. And so if I could temper them, I probably would. But like we were kind of talking before the meeting started, if they temper some of these, kind of like spring steel, they'd probably shatter.
Yeah.
The other thing too that
Yeah,
mine
done
don't
that.
have, that the other ones have a set screw, a stop on them that you can adjust. So I don't have that, but then again, we're just doing nipping, so I'll be careful, and so it'll probably be all right. But it makes a big difference if you guys are interested. Not for me to make them, but for you to buy them from.
Oh, well,
Oh, geez, go on, Phil. Damn.
what's the point?
Yeah.
Teases us and then leaves us high and dry.
All right, I won't waste your time anymore.
All right. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Joe, you're up.
Well, I'm sitting here playing with one of the ICM Stearmans. Got the prop here. I'm trying to sand the mold lines off of it. And I'm waiting for another can of camel yellow to come so I can finish painting the wings and so forth. Nice kit, all fits together pretty well. Needed a little bit of filler on the bottom where the wing joined the fuselage, but overall, nice. Kind of happy to have an injection molded Stearman in 30-second scale. So that's what I'm working on. Haven't had much time to do much over the past couple weeks, so I've got a few minutes to sit here now, and I'm enjoying it. I will yield the rest of my time.
Thanks, Jonathan. Or Joe.
That would
Jonathan,
be
you're
Joe.
up.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're up, Jonathan.
I am. So I was trying to figure out what to build after the faux build, and Dave Fuller in the Bill Briarton raid up there picked a bag of stuff up, and unbeknownst to him, in it was a 48 scale Hasegawa Oscar, which he had no use for. So I'm building that right now. It is,
Sweet.
however, the anime Oscar, and those are the markings for it there. The little anime
need some-
girl.
Do you need some not anime markings?
What I need is a set of Hanamarus.
Let me look.
Because what I'm going to do, the green is very legitimate. I found several planes which are all silver, and then you just put this green on, but the entire plane is a decal, which ought to be either, I can't imagine what it's going to be like. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. I've already had enough. I'm sitting there the other day, and I'm just got it here, and it's all just roughly put together. And I thought, oh, the wing fits real well. Let's just go ahead and glue it in. And then I got it all glued in, and I look over on the desk, and there's the cockpit sitting there that I forgot to put in before I glued the wing on. So we had to rip the wing back off and fit the cockpit in for what it is. But anyway,
Too funny.
it is. It wasn't funny at the time. Luckily, the Tamiya glue was soft enough still. I could yank it back off. It's built into a nice kit. It's a shame they do the funky little anime thing. Not the best part of that is now I have the little anime chick that sits on my desk with me, because you get a little lucite anime chick. But yeah, so it's going to take a lot of decaling. But
And John, do you have a circle cutter?
I can make them if I can't find them, but I'd prefer just to find them. And I don't want to mask.
had some.
I don't know if I want to mask on top of this. The whole wing's a decal. I don't know if I want to put tape on that and risk pulling it up.
Fair enough.
You know, I just, I don't know. It may not get to that. I might completely lose my mind trying to put these decals on, which are about 6 by 2.5 inches long. And we'll see when we get there on that one. But anyway, that's what I'm working on, a freebie from Dave Fuller from Bill Briarton. So right now, I don't know. I've got my money's worth out of it so far. Okay, Tim, I'll cede my time.
Okay. Paul, you're up.
Hey, everyone. Not a lot I got done over the last few days. My buddy came over Saturday, and we had a good old time. And I was not feeling modeling on Sunday. That was a rest and relaxed day, and that's usually my big modeling day, Sunday. Like I'm sure some of you guys too. So building the car, the Tamiya Toyota GT1. This is the car here. I've started working on the body, and only thing I've got done really is just priming it, getting ready for the paint, the red paint that's going to be on the majority of this thing. The inside's already black. One thing that's kind of interesting is you can see the car. So obviously it's white right there, and the rest is red. And there's a little white detailing on top of that air scoop. Tamiya gives you mask for that, which is no surprise. There's just too much light here. But they're already cut up for you. You just peel it off and stick it on. You don't have to like take your hobby knife and cut that out, which is interesting because every single airplane I've had, a lot of times they give you a masking sheet, but you got to cut out the canopy mask. So if they can do it here for cars, why can't they do it there for their airplanes? So I don't know what's up with that.
That's the question of the century, my friend. They do the
Yeah.
same thing with their belts. The
Well,
cars
the
that give
question
you
is they
fabric
can't.
belts
It's
and
the
then they give
question
you
is they
decals.
don't.
Yeah, well, well, why don't they?
Car
There you
guys are
go.
spoiled, airplane guys are builders.
I guess the car guys need all the help they can get. Also got all the tires and wheels done. And big shout out to Darren who helped me with that little center hub thing. It's gold and it's really recessed down in there. He spent a little bit of time with me, and he decided that the best way to approach that was probably to use get a sharpened toothpick and with some masking fluid and very carefully put it around the base of that little center gold thing. I then sprayed it, of course, masked the rest of it. And then once I pulled up the mask, I just used a Micron pen for the little red tip thing, and it came out pretty good. Not too shabby. I'm pretty happy with it. So thanks for him for helping me with that. And then the F-15 is another build I have going on. And what I've got done there is just getting the fuselage halves together, and everything looks like it's all right down there in the intakes and stuff. I do have a bit of a gap here, right in there. It's about, I don't know, maybe get a dime in there. It's not very big, so I'll clean that up as we go along. I did get one of the nozzles done. All those little linkage things you had to put on separately off the resin kit. So yeah, that's about it. I'll pass my time to the next guy.
All right, I think that I'm going to make that me. Let's see. All right, so still making some progress on my Arizona. I've got the waterways done all the way back to the break on the main deck, and on the stern, I'm working from the stern forward. Essentially, all I've got left is just the one curvy section here and the one curvy section there. And once I get those done, I can then put start putting the deck on. I've been doing some sanding around these edges just to kind of smooth it, get it smooth on the top so that there's no kinks or anything. A little bit of filler. I got the rudder on, although that's not on very well. Doesn't feel like it's very strong. So that's looking good. I'm quite happy with how that's turning out so far. And then it'll be the next challenge, which is what does that deck look like when it's actually physically in there? That'll be fun. And then back in April, we had our theme build was some sort of sci-fi thing. So I picked up this guy, which is some sort of Star Wars thing. If you look at the dude in there, he's some sort of clone fighter or whatever. Anyway, this is supposed to be some sort of a tank, and I've got the major painting done, and I'm doing the detail painting. Like this is I think it's called a field generator. There's a little filter there. I'm doing some filters here. These are for some things that look like Hellfire missiles, so I painted them to look like Hellfire missiles. And I decided to paint this guy instead of the bright white with red, yellow, and blue markings. I decided to paint this guy up to look like a tank in Desert Warfare, because it would be a tank, right? You'd want it a little bit camouflaged. You wouldn't want this big red, white, yellow, and blue thing out in the middle of the desert, standing out like a sore thumb and just being begged to be shot at. So anyway, I'm working on the details on it. It's an easy build. It took me an hour to put it together and another hour to do the painting, the major painting. I've spent more than an hour just on the details, and I got a long ways to go. It's a fun build. No decals or anything like that. So, once I'm done painting, I'm done. It's going to be fun. That's all I got.
Since that little like Clone Wars tank hovers, are you going to put it on a little stand or just set it on the shelf?
It comes with a
Oh,
little
there it is.
stand.
Okay.
It's clear, and it's not quite flat. So when it sits on a flat surface, the thing it's well balanced and it spins, and you touch it and it's like it's hovering. I mean, it really does. It's kind of weird. As you can see, I'm painting these are the things that make it hover, supposedly. So I'm painting those just kind of gray. I'm going to use some smoke to kind of make them look like they're throwing out some sort of exhaust, if you will. This is the other side. You know, it articulates a little bit, these little wingy things. And then these are supposed to be the things that help to change direction and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just mucking around with it. These are not glued in, the Canon things. This guy's not glued in. He's just in his little tub. Cool stuff.
Who's that kit by? Is that a Bandai kit or?
It's a Bandai kind of quality, but there's no, where's the instructions? It doesn't say who actually makes it. I mean, nowhere on here does it say who makes it. It's for a game, and it's called Star Wars Legion, and it's just there's just nothing. The instructions are nothing. Don't say copyright or whatever. Just say, other than Star Wars Legion, whatever that is. But it's for some game. I picked it up, you know, kind of doing a Phil thing. I picked it up at High Tide Games to give them some business and help them out. Since we've got one for it was the April theme, and I decided that it looked like it was an easy enough build that I might be able to have it done by the August meeting, and I will. At this point, I could call it done today, and it would be done. I mean, it's science fiction, right? It's as done as I want it to be. Anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I had fun with it so far. Benny, you're up.
All right. Just kind of still plugging away on my dogfight double. I got some paint on the 190 aircrafts starting to come together. The Mustang is now also in one piece, so still working those. Should be getting those done pretty soon, I think. Looking ahead, I've started on an Albatross D5 from the Edward kit, and just kind of started blocking in some of the paint colors for that. I'm going to try inside the fuselage. It's really glossy, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's obviously a wooden framework around the cockpit there, but the Albatross fuselage was a plywood monocoque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint that with a lighter shade of brown, and then do that same trick that I've done with photo etched instrument panels in the past, where so it's got this has got Tamiya clear gloss on it over protecting the brown paint right now. I should be able to just very lightly wipe that down, and it'll take the paint off the high spots, but leave it in the low spots. So that should make the wooden framework pop out pretty good. And then following Jonathan's theme, this will have lozenge camouflage on the wings. Aviatic makes a lozenge decal set that's actually like pre-cut cookies for the wings. It has all the cutouts for the various parts, like the radiator here on the bottom of the upper wing, and the rib tapes are all in there too. So I think that's going to be well worth the money spent on that, because it'll make it a lot easier than trying to deal with individual sections. And then on a final note on this kit, it's pretty nice, but it's gotten dinged on a couple of places. If you read reviews of it, the wheels are supposedly too small, and it affects the stance of the aircraft. I don't know if you saw or not today on Hyperscale, there was a big thread about like what's your tolerance for errors. I think Joe actually wrote some stuff up on that, but I went back and I looked. There's aftermarket wheels for the kit, and it gives the actual dimensions of the wheel full size in the little blurb with those those parts. So I went back and I measured the kit wheels, and the difference in diameter is less than a millimeter. And so I'm really kind of wondering if I want to throw out extra money for a pair of wheels that are going to not be noticeably bigger, just because, you know, these are too small and inaccurate, and thus the airplane is unbuildable. But we'll see how that goes. So should be a pretty fun little kit to go together. Everything looks really nice. The test fits that I've done so far are really good. I think even though it's a biplane, it'll go pretty quick. So looking forward to that. And also obtained my Bondi build kit for September. Got a deal. Try not to spill it here. Got a deal on the 124 scale Mustang. So it's
By September?
yeah, I'm gonna pretty much build it out of the box, because even though it's an ancient kit, I'm looking at it and, you know, it looks like a Mustang. And the guy that I bought it from had already mocked all the major sub-assemblies up, and they all appear to fit pretty well. So see what I can throw together on that. It might end up being in flight just for fun. We'll see how that goes, but might get finished in September, might not. We'll see. Anyway, that's all I got.
All right.
I'll see you guys later. I gotta log off.
All right. See you, Phil.
Take care, Phil.
Benny, this is a tough time, man. You got to come out of the closet there.
Look at his face.
Couple of months yet.
Uh-huh.
There's a roof on the new place now, so hopefully they'll be moving right on. They're supposed to be putting in stairs this week, so
Oh, good.
it is getting a little cramped in here.
You keep pulling your stash in. All right, Darren, you're up.
All right, let me see here. Let me get this done up here. So still working on that, as you all know. So well, let me get my phone. I gotta show you all a picture here in a second. Got it all weathered, cleared, decaled, untaped. All right. All the sub-assemblies are going, all the landing gears on. I had to go back. I got called out on my speed brakes. I had done the speed brake wells in red, and I had to go back and fix that, but not a big deal. The cockpit's all done. Seats are in. I was really happy with the way the seats turned out. I did use, you know, we were talking about the car guys and stuff that they don't give you. The airplane guys, you know, the car guys give you belts. You don't get those, or you get decals. So I got a set of the Quintos from the Zuki-Moore kit and integrated it into these seats. It worked out really well. They were a little bit fiddly, but it worked. I did have, well, before I talk about that, I'll talk about the ordnance, which I started putting all the allows together and working on removed for flight tags and stuff, getting all those ready to go on. So I was down here working the other day, and I had a piece of tape in my hand, and I had this sitting on here, similar to this. And I went over here to grab something, and I don't know how the hell I did it, but the tape touched on this side. And yeah, this is what I had to deal with. Stand by here. Let me find that picture again. I had it up. It was rough. It almost got colonized.
Wow.
Real close.
Oh, man.
Jeez.
After all that work, huh?
I was
Oh,
extremely pissed off that it pulled that piece of decal off. So I took a couple steps back. Cooler heads prevail. And you'll note you can't see it. I actually was able to sit here with an X-Acto knife and pull that piece of decal off the piece of tape.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
And fit it back in place. And it fit back in there perfectly. Now
Mm.
the edge of black was the black edge was a little bit rough, so I just cut another piece of decal, long sliver, and put it in there and melted it in, so it went right back in like it was supposed to. But man, I was not happy. Another thing I wasn't too happy about were the Tamiya decals. So this is a mix of the furball set, and I used a lot of the Tamiya stencils. I think they went in fairly well. Some of these on the bottom were a little bit thick, but I got the silvering all gone, so they blended it pretty good. But the leading edges, there were some on here, and they were sitting up proud. So I did end up sanding those off and respraying this leading edges. So to me, the Tamiya decals just leave a lot to be desired sometimes. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're just not good at all. And these were not very good. So, but yeah, hopefully this is the last meeting where I'll be talking about assembly stuff. I'm hoping to have it completed by the end of the weekend so that I can get it ready to go to the Mosquito Con. So then it'll be finished. So the next meeting on the 12th, I'll have it there as a final. And then it's on some, I don't know, I got to finish the Tomcat next, I think. So I'm sorry.
The wheels. How'd you flatten the wheels?
I pulled the Whitey trick. I got the old griddle out. Yep.
Softball boy.
Yeah. So, you know, the wax paper on the griddle, I had my little laser thermometer out there, and 280 degrees was perfect. And set it on there, let it sit for about 15, 20 potatoes, and nice and flat. So, yeah.
Now,
and of course, I tested it with another set of wheels first to make sure I wasn't going to get string goo. But
Yeah, you think that decal is a problem?
yeah.
Did you put some weight on it?
Just a little, because that gear's a little wonky
Okay.
already. It's kind of, so I didn't want to put too much weight on it, but I did just a little push, and then I just let it sit there. Really, the nose needed more weight than the rear did. So,
All right, you
yeah.
make a video of that.
Well, yeah, now we got the temperature down. We can do that. The griddle worked. I don't have an iron that'll work upside down. So
Yeah, same. Most irons these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safety
Also.
feature, yeah.
yeah. So what I did was I took the griddle, I turned it up to 300 degrees, and I kept hitting it with my temp gun, and then I turned it to warm and just kind of kept it right there where it needed to be. It worked fine. Now, of course, some plastics are softer than others, so you know,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good. Yep, it worked great. There you go. That's where I'm at. That's all I have.
All right, thanks. Michael, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. I have nothing to report. Things have been slow here in North Carolina, but I do enjoy watching you guys that are getting things done, and a good-looking Phantom.
Thank
I
you.
like it.
Thank you.
Give my time up to somebody that's got something productive to say, and I appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael. Vince, let's see, where's Vince? Vince is next.
I'm right here.
I found you.
So this week I actually got a real nice surprise in the mail. Doing the stuff with Detail and Scale, they always send me a hard copy of the books when they come out, and the new FJ Fury Part 1, the prototypes through FJ3 is out. So Bert Kinsey sent along a copy of the book, but this time around, he also sent it in a box and included the Kitty Hawk quarter scale FJ2, because that's the aircraft version that Marines flew almost exclusively operationally. And not only did he send me the Fury, but he threw in a set of hypersonic tail surface resin upgrades and a hypersonic update set for the airframes. And I just thought that was, you know, hey man, call him sweet as pie. So this is not a kit I would have gone out and purchased, but now that it's in my collection and I've got all that stuff, I'm going to have to build it. In the meantime, I'm trying to get this commission work for my principal deputy retires, and his going away is next Wednesday. So I'm starting to really feel the pressure since today's Thursday. I'm down to a week, but I've been applying the decals on this thing for the first in Phantoms celebration 1961 to 1981. But the thing that I'm most happy with is the detail and scale. I got a hold of these special markings because they include the markings for this aircraft. But you can see right here, this tank shaped area, and then the line up here. The sheet gives you a yellow line for the cheat line around the canopy hood and on the vertical tail. Well, I was worried about painting the black and then putting the decal on. So what I did was I applied the decals first to kind of be my outline of where the black needed to be. And today I just took a whole bunch of Parafilm M and stretched it out and laid it on there, and took a new X-Acto blade and trimmed the parafilm where the black is supposed to be. And then went back and I shot the vertical tail, the canopy hood and anti-glare area, and the two wingtips to get the black on those. And that doggone Mr. Surfacer 1500 black lays down so pretty. All I
You're
did
right.
was
It's a great product.
yeah, it is. And I cut it 50-50, half and half with leveling thinner. And that stuff just sprays beautifully. So that's what the black is shot with. And now I can put the 20 years decal here. And last night I cut out and trimmed up all of the clear pieces and gave them all a dip in future floor polish. So they are all nice and glossy and shiny. And I've got to mask the insides and start applying all of these internal canopy framing pieces to all of those, and then shoot the black inside and out. And like Darren, I'll be running downhill with scissors this weekend, getting all my landing gear, the struts and everything are done. All my doors are on the stick down here. They're all done. And I've got all the pylons, and all I'm going to do is put the 3 tanks on it. I didn't have time to go through and paint all the Sparrow missiles and Sidewinder missiles. So I'm going to put I've got the anti-sway braces all attached to these things for the Sidewinders. And my exhaust nozzles are all done. I shot them with black, and then I came back and hit them again with burnt metal. And they came out pretty nice. So I'm down to some detail painting. I'll hang those things on it. And then I've got both of my ejection seats are sitting off to the side. They're painted on tongue depressors. And I'll be doing all of the assembly in some small, I'm not going to weather it up real heavy. One of the things I was really happy with is that when this thing was all in black in the primer, I came back and I shot white in kind of a mottling, MOTT mottling effect in and around all the panel lines. And it's not really transferring you can see a little bit, but I only did it on the vertical surfaces. So the sides on the intakes, the side of the fuselage, the nose, all of those were left basically in black primer without the white, as was the belly. But the areas that would have been in direct sunlight, so the tops of the horizontal tails and the tops of the wings, the tops of the fuselage and the intakes, I did that mottling and then went back, and you can just see the shadows of the lines and stuff coming back through that gloss gold gray. I put it on in 2 fairly light coats until I got the coverage that I wanted, and then stopped spraying. And under natural light and without the camera interface here, it actually looks good under these fluorescent lights as well. So this has been about the fastest I've ever built a quarter scale model, and I wind up dedicating, it's like the only thing on my bench right now. You guys know I normally do about 8 or 10 things at a time. I have been focusing on this because I have to get it not only done, but take my furniture foam and cut out a custom, coffin for it and put it in a box. So this guy he's retiring and moving to Ohio. I don't want to give this to him on Wednesday and have it destroyed by Friday when he gets to Ohio. So I've got to finish this and get the custom cutout, but that's what I've been really pushing hard on. And unfortunately, it gets gifted on July 28th. So this is the last time I'll get to share it with anybody, and nobody will get to see it in a show or anything else, because it'll be, 1,000 miles from here in just about a week. But that's what I've been working on. Thanks, Tim.
Be sure to take a lot of pictures of it.
Yep, take pictures.
I shall. I will tell you, this set, just like Darren was saying, he used a mix of Furball and the Tamiya decals. Well, this set will tell you, you got to use the kit decals in so many places. Kit decals here, kit decals here. Well, this was the Hasegawa boxing that comes with markings for like BMFA 451 and VF 84. And I cut out their wing walks, and these were the no step areas on the fuselage, and of course the national insignia. And my God, as soon as those things hit the water, they were gonzo. And I was so angry, and I went through every F4 kit I have to try to find some more gray wing walks, or the intake walks. And these come out of my brand new Tamiya F4B, because they're the only gray walks I have. But the kit no step ones came out fine, but you can see the difference in color between the two, where they really should match. But again, the guy I'm giving this to, he was with this squadron on the boat in 1981. I don't know how much he's going to remember about each and every last detail on the freaking airplanes, but on the sheet, on the paper, while there was a difference, it wasn't as stark as it is once they're applied and off the backing paper. I didn't realize, the backing paper for the detail and scale decals is very light blue, and the backing paper on the Hasegawa decals is white. And so the color contrast when you put them side by side was not that great, but boy, when you put them on, it sure as heck was. So little things like that have left me a little frustrated. And the only thing that I kind of sit back and think is, well, it's not mine. That may sound cruel. And I'm not getting paid for it. I'm doing it as a gift for this guy. So off it goes. But that's it. Thanks.
All right. Steve, you're up.
And not a whole lot, but I've been working some more on the truck on the Diamond Rio. Yeah, put the engine together. Haven't attached the transmission yet, still cleaning it up. Quite a few parts involved there. Yeah, a lot of sanding, had a lot of mold lines in it. Misaligned parts, had to clean those up. But it's coming along. Also, had to attach the fenders to the hood. I still need to clean that up. And the grill's just laying in there.
Steve, do you have to paint that, or will you have to mask off all that metal and then paint the rest of the hood later?
Oh, it comes off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, just got it in there. I taped it in there to line up the fenders best I could. Keep it, if I set it on a flat surface, it wouldn't be all cockeyed. Yeah. On the cab, had 2 strips on the bottom I had to attach. So I got that part in there. And hopefully pretty soon I can start putting primer on it, especially on the frame, and paint that frame and start building it up. But that's all I have for tonight.
All right, Steve, thanks. Jim, you're up.
I don't really have too much to talk about. When I was in the Boy Scouts, we took a tour out to Olathe Naval Air Station in the early 60s. I don't remember exactly what year it was, but we had a pair of VF-74 F4Bs come through on a cross country. Those were the first F4s I ever saw. They had different markings, of course, than what Vince is depicting. They had the big red lightning bolts along the side. Pretty cool. I've been working on my 1/32 scale F105D and added the, actually, it's got the Vietnam era spine for the hydraulic lines, and I had to take that off to make the airplane that I'm making. So this is just to pair that in, and also the resin tail. And as far as I know, everybody's resin tail omits this little fillet right here, so I had to add that in. And that's pretty. I'm also working on a FJ4 that's just a horrible kit, but I've been doing little bits and pieces of that, but nothing worth showing on that yet. So that's it for me.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Is Whitey still there, or did Whitey go?
Pop off. His wife was calling him for dinner. She cracked the whip. He ran.
Well, that's a shame.
I
wanted
hear
to
him
see the
right
tornado.
when this fired up. My wife sent me a text. Dinner's ready. My daughter is staying here, and she cooked dinner, and mine's upstairs going cold, so I could join you guys.
I wanted this tornado. I know he's been beating his head against the wall with that damn thing, but oh well, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. All right, well, I think that's it for tonight. For next week, I won't be joining you because I'm teaching. And like we discussed earlier, we could always skip it. And the next one would be on the 5th, and then possibly we would be face-to-face on the 12th.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. All right, I'll shoot out a note and just, we won't do anything next week. We'll skip it. And you'll, by the
Good
way,
night, gentlemen.
Hey, Jonathan, your key
Have a good one,
43,
guys.
what is it a type 1, a type 2, type 3?
One.
It's a 1.
Pretty
Okay.
sure it's a one.
All right. I'll look, see what I got.
all right. See you guys in a couple weeks.
Yeah, K43-1.
Okay. I'll take a look.
Thanks, man.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night, everyone.